Yeah, I just am so sad to even think that I have to maybe leave Canada and move to another country. I lived here over 20 years, going into 25 years, and never ever thought that would be something that I have to consider. The number one reason is that the living cost is getting unbearable. It's like a two-bedroom bungalow house that should be selling for, I don't know, probably $100,000 or a little more. It's selling at almost $1 million, starting at $850,000. And to rent that place, if you can even find a rental place, because it's so popular, there's so many people looking for renting place, but they can't find one. And to rent that place starts at $3,000 in certain parts of Canada. And I'm not exaggerating, and that's cheap. We recently had to move out of rental and we were grandfathered and we were paying about $1,900 almost. And that was increased over 3 years' time. And as soon as we left, the owner increased the price to $3,000. And and that's cheaper renting price because the house, like I said, only had a two-bedroom. And I was like, who can afford that? I mean, people can afford it if they have to, but then they're paying more than 50% of their income into renting. But they can't buy a house either because then you have to have a down payment for something $1 million for down payment. It's, I don't know how much even that is, just unbelievable. And who can save that kind of down payment? If you had a money to save down payment, then you wouldn't be renting. Like it's just, there's a hole in my bucket, Eliza, it's just going in a circle and it's devastating. Unless both of husband and wife or your friends or roommates or whatever, family members are working nonstop, never see each other, even then I don't even know you can afford it. I have a really good job, but by myself, if I can afford those kind of houses, I'll be working all the time, never home. So I never get to enjoy my house anyway. And so it's crazy. If this goes up as it is and continues on, I have no choice but to leave Canada and flee out of here because it's no longer livable. It's no longer doable. And it's really, really sad. When I came to Canada when I was 13, I really loved the country. And that's what I remember. And I just couldn't wait to immigrate here and live here. Immigration took a long time and just things went sour. Mind you, when I came to Canada at 13, I didn't really know that I loved the country because I was so young. But as I spent more time, as I was hitting 20s, I realized the country was so good and beautiful, especially where I used to live. But now it's not only financially difficult and almost impossible unless you're a lawyer, unless you two people are working as a doctors, like to live a normal life. Back then your parents could be just school teacher and they have a summer off and have a good job Monday to Friday, whatever, and they could own a boat and have a summer house and retire comfortably. Like that's our parents or grandparents' time. Now you both are working as a school teacher. I don't even know if you can have a days off. On your days off, you better have a side jobs, or on your summer off, you better have another job because you can't possibly, live unless you have an inheritance, unless you make extra money in the side hustles or investments or stock market. But again, those are all side things. That's not purely from your income. And you can't afford to live in Canada anymore with your just good job, good income. So it's becoming really crazy, least to say. And second reason is that the government is, I don't know what's happening. It's unpredictable. I mean, anywhere is unpredictable, actually. It's really, I don't know if there is place in the world that you can say the government or anything that in charge of you is stable or whatnot, but it certainly has affected a lot of parts of our living. And last 2 to 3 years, you all probably have experienced one way or the other, just unexpected things in life and storms and just like in awe that I had to go through stuff, and it's unbelievable. So many unstable, unknown, kind of fearful future. Like so it's, we you just never know. And like having the right to stand your ground, that's very lacking as well. So how much can you, like, how do you protect yourself? Like, you can't really protect yourself, and it's fearful. Like, it's in Ontario right now, there is a break-ins everywhere, and the police is suggesting that people leave their key and phone and laptops and stuff valuable by the door, so that the criminal don't wake you up basically and kill you while they're stealing your stuff. So just leave it on the doorstep so they can just peacefully take it away. Like, that's mind-blowing, and that's really, really scary. So what do you do? What do you do? And moving to another country is not easy as it sounds. There's paperwork, there's immigration work. I've done the immigration. It's so much work. And nowadays, it's not even like, how long would it take? I don't even know. And it's so complicated. And like, what about their medicals? What about their other things? I mean, some country, like, I mean, States, there's a lot of land still that's affordable, and the house that's somewhat affordable in countryside, and you can have acreages for, same price as Canada for 2-bedroom bungalow, like for less than $100,000, you can have acreages in countryside in the States. So there is still hope there, perhaps, but moving to different country, that wherever that be, is still scary, unknown. And I'm not getting any younger, I'm getting older, so I don't like changes. Some people do, but I'm not very adventurous person to begin with, so that's scary. But to survive and not to be slave to work, you have to do what you have to do. So if any of you out there that's struggling to pay bills and live in Canada, or really anywhere else that matters, I am so sorry, and you're not alone at all. People who has a good job is struggling, and people who has decent income is having a hard time paying the bill. Well, the saying is, we are 1 or 2 paycheck away from being out on the street. Like, literally, not too many people have that much saving to last if something happens to your job, last 6 months or a year in the house that you're in. I certainly don't. And so, it's like one day at a time, and it's hard, but we do our best and ask God to help us and lead us and guide us in whatever we have to do. But you're not alone, and I pray that those of you struggling, that God has a way for us, and that hang on to Him and don't give up, and take one day at a time. That's the most we can do, the best we can do, because life is so crazy and unpredictable and fearful and all. But we're here for reasons, and yeah. Anyway, I have to go to work. Speaking of making money. We'll see you in next video. Bye.